Hello, I'm High Heel Knight. Welcome to my channel. This is my review of Ocean's 8. I give the movie a C-. Ocean's 8 stars Sandra Bullock as Debbie Ocean, the sister of Danny Ocean from the George Clooney series of Ocean's films. She is fresh out of prison after being framed/left behind by an old boyfriend of hers. So she wants to do a major jewel heist as well as get revenge on the boyfriend. Now, although I am a big fan of the Ocean series, I even enjoyed the classic Rat Pack Ocean movie. And while this film itself isn't awful, I was greatly disappointed by many factors that happened throughout the movie, which is why it gets a low grade. Okay, I'm going to start with what I did not like about the movie first. Now, there's two things that are important in all the Ocean movies: an interesting heist and a great dynamic amongst the team with a lot of charming characters themselves, as well as a lot of charming moments and cool situations within the team itself. Now, the heist of Ocean's 8 is fine, but the dynamic amongst the team is sorely lacking. There's almost no scene in which the minor team members are getting to know each other or working on a scheme together or doing some type of camaraderie together. They are shown to be hanging out together, physically together, but for the most part, they just sort of wait around until it's their turn to do something. Sandra Bullock does most of the interaction with the minor crew, and a lot of the minor crew, I only remember them because they're played by famous or semi-famous people as opposed to remembering that cool character. For instance, in Ocean's 11, you have Bernie Mac. He had that great scene where he and Matt Damon and Andy Garcia are in the bowels of the casino. We had another cool scene with the brothers. They're constantly bickering amongst themselves, trying to win up each other. There's a scene where they had to do a miniature heist of getting that EMP device. The Amazing Yin, you can remember him doing that special flip and then having to do his little high tension segment in the vault. So there's dynamics into the minor members of the team as opposed to just being about George Clooney and Matt Damon and Brad Pitt. Whereas in Ocean's 8, that dynamic isn't really there. And to make matters worse, one of the 8 don't really become a member of the crew until after the main heist is over. Anne Hathaway's character, she's originally the mark that they wanted to steal. She's going to be wearing, she's a celebrity, and she's going to be wearing this special jewelry worth $150 million. And after the team winds up stealing it, she finds the team and forces herself to become part of the membership, or else she'll rat out everybody else. So really the movie should be called Ocean 7 plus one little tag along, because, you know, she's did nothing to help the heist other than just not rat everybody out. Which leads to the revenge section. The third act practically becomes another movie, because out of nowhere, James Corden comes in as this insurance investigator leading this investigation, and he's doing all these interviews and things. It's like, the heist is already done. We should be wrapping up. And no, this third act is solely like happening, and got James Corden doing all this investigation. So what the crew winds up doing by framing the boyfriend, Anne Hathaway's character goes to the boyfriend. Now they've already established a semi-relationship. The team winds up setting up the ex-boyfriend to be hanging out with the celebrity, and because he's such a charming guy, they wind up having a little fling. But even after, when Hathaway's character learns what the truth is, she just so decides to go to him in order to plant some jewels so that the ex-boyfriend will be discovered by the police and then arrested. And it's clear from the dynamics of the scene that she definitely used her feminine wiles to plant the evidence. She locks him up with some handcuffs in the bed, sneaks into another room, plants the evidence, and then like this scene transitions, and he's out of the cuffs and the beds are all tossed up. So you know she didn't just plant the jewels on a couple of men lips. She got have some fun with this man that she's setting up who has nothing wrong to her, which is another problem. The ex-boyfriend, yeah, he messed with Sandra Bullock's character, Debbie Ocean. He left Debbie Ocean to dry on a con that they were working together on, but still, it's like he pretty much seems to have gone the straight and narrow. He's an art dealer, and he's pretty much living a relatively solid life. So it's just really messed up that Anne Hathaway's character winds up literally and figuratively screwing him just so they can pull off this heist and frame up when the guy has done nothing wrong to him. And yeah, sure, Anne Hathaway's character, she wants the money, she wants to get millions of dollars and everything, but still, the theme of the movie overall is, yes, here's a team of women doing as well or better than the men, and yet part of the heist comes down to seducing a man and framing him. And it's like, how many stories about women seducing a man are there, that women are still doing it? Women have been doing that, using their feminine wiles to, latch onto rich people or rich men and move their way up, from practically forever. So it's like, that should not be part of this movie about a team of women that are just as capable as the men. I don't mind the revenge on the boyfriend, but it's like, no, that seduction shouldn't be involved. A little flirting, like they would have to go to a cashier or some bellhop or something. Oh, honey, can you tell me what room this is? That would be fine. But full on, having your way with this person that you're going to set up to take a fall who's done really nothing wrong to you, and he's relatively a decent guy as opposed to Andy Garcia's character. Andy Garcia's character doesn't really do anything to most of the team members, but still, he's not a nice person. He's a cruel, evil, he can, sick the hounds on you at a drop of a hat if we need to. He's not a nice person. So, you don't mind that, we're stealing from him. But this guy, he's okay. He was a douche one time. Okay, Sandra, you get revenge on him, but don't, send someone else to, do all the hanky-panky with him. That should not be in this movie. That should not be in this movie at all. So that was really what bothered me much. And another thing that bothered me was there's a scene where Sandra Bullock and Cate Blanchett, they're like the two main people. They're the George Clooney and Brad Pitt of this film. They're going over who they want to recruit, and Sandra Bullock's character, Debbie Ocean, clearly says, I don't want men on the team. Men get noticed, women don't, so I don't want any men involved in the heist. And throughout the movie, there are no men involved with the heist. But the ultimate heist, when it's revealed at the very end, involves the Amazing Yin. Now, as much as I love the Amazing Yin, and it was fun to see his cameo, it's like, what happened to the whole no men rule? And doesn't that make him part of the team? I mean, the other folks, they just sort of did a quick sleight of hand or, something small here and there. Whereas this is a person who's literally stealing the majority of the take. Shouldn't he get additionally a major? He has a more of a role practically in this heist than he did in Ocean's 11. So I was like, wow, I got to watch a movie and just double check the math of how much who gets what. But yeah, it was just really bothersome. So yeah, just to recap all this bad things, didn't like that there wasn't a dynamic between the team. Didn't like that part of the heist was seducing a man and leaving him hanging out to dry. Definitely didn't like that one of the 8th members doesn't happen until the last third of the movie. The last third of the movie becomes practically a second film onto itself. And what happened to the whole no men on the team rule? So the handful of good things I liked about the movie, all of the performances are fine. They're very nice performances, and there's a ton of cameos by a ton of other celebrities, either playing roles or playing themselves. So that was fun to see. There's a lot of cool fashion in the movie. There's a scene that just cuts to a wall of high heel designer shoes, and this woman in front of me, she went, oh, and I was like, oh yeah. I didn't say it out loud, but that's how I felt. Like, oh, I can just stare at this wall of pumps for the rest of the movie. You just leave the camera right here, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, and Sandra Bullock herself, she makes a very cool thief. Actually, as soon as she gets out of jail, she managed to spend the night in a hotel room, and it's very clever how she gets the hotel room. So I would love to see more of Debbie Ocean, and I would welcome a sequel if they do focus on the teamwork. And I like Sandra Bullock. I mean, even movies that I don't like that feature her, I've always enjoyed her. I've never not liked Sandra Bullock in a movie, even if I didn't like the movies itself. So yeah, wonderful performances. Sandra Bullock is great. Fashion, fantastic. Those are really the handful of good things I can say about this movie. So, Ocean's 8 is not a bad movie, but I was very disappointed. It's not bad, but it should have been better. And it's also a little distracting because Danny Ocean is allegedly dead. And if they just said that one time and left it alone, fine. But there's 3 callbacks to whether or not Danny Ocean is actually dead. So that's a little bit of a distraction. But overall, I was disappointed. A lot of things I didn't like about the movie more than I liked. So therefore, as much as I hate to say, Ocean's 8 gets a C- grade from me. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Be sure to post any comments you like in the comment section. I welcome all feedback. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or dislike, share, and subscribe. Once again, I'm High Heel Matt. Thank you for watching, and remember, find inspiration everywhere.